Do you want to sharpen your ability to think creatively to a razor edge? If so, let's talk about the core skills that will allow you to do just that. Yes, creativity can be enhanced. And there are certain things that you need to do as core skills to be able to think at your creative best. The first one is take care of your mood. Now, there are many things that help us keep our mood steady and solid and good. Getting enough sleep, exercise, having a gratitude practice, mindfulness, being in that moment. All those are things that are empirically shown to help you sustain a good mood. When we have a good mood, we tend to delve more into creative thinking. When we feel more depressed, we tend to go a lot more analytical, and oftentimes we analyze in a direction that just plain doesn't work. There is some real importance in what is best described as non-time. Time where you're alone, time where you can let your mind just wander. I have a video called Green Time that I'm going to suggest that you take a look at. And it's purposely setting your mind in motion by not having it focus on anything at all. And that sounds paradoxical. The other thing is spend time alone. At the University of Utah, they tested people after 4 days alone, and they found out they did 50% better on standardized measures for creativity. This is pretty amazing. So if you have a project, build in some time where you can have some just plain alone time. You know, most of us can relate to the fact that we really enjoy that time just on our own. Some of us more so than others. Those are called introverts, and there is nothing wrong with being an introvert. Introverts are some of the most creative people going because they get that time to be alone. Another thing that is really helpful in terms of generating more creative thoughts and better levels of creativity is what is called deep work. Deep work is work that you really have to apply yourself to do. It is not the superficial work that takes a lot of time. It's work that really causes your brain to have to think. In the book of the same name, the author talks about ways of setting up for deep work. People aren't necessarily used to doing that. Unfortunately, a lot of people give up when it seems to be hard. One way to enter into deep work is start by doing a relatively short period of time where you're engaged in deep work. Now, deep work implies that there is no other distractors around, that you can focus just on that task at hand. Deep work takes out all the distractions. When you have that period of time where you have nothing to do but apply yourself to a problem, you have entered deep work. Progressively increase the amount of time and duration you have in an interval of doing deep work. You will find it highly satisfying. And the advantage for somebody with ADD is if you pass over into that bridge to hyper focus, you're going to really enjoy getting into it. So don't let what's hard scare you away. Yeah, it takes a little longer. And you truly can do anything you truly apply yourself to. And often the application is deep work. And the marvelous thing about that is it really forces your brain to think in different ways. And that is the essence of creativity. You know, we're often told to think outside of the box. I think that's wrong. Jazz grade Charlie Mingus would say that you can't improvise on nothing. You have to start somewhere. And improvisation is one of the ways of increasing creativity. In the next video, I'm going to show you some ways of improvisational thinking, both in music, in art, and in writing. So I want you to stay tuned for part 3 of this series. When we go into improvisational thinking, be it painting or drawing, music, or any other level of creative thought, we are taking a fragment and we're expanding on that. Some of the cleverest music I've heard is by George Winston. He'll take a refrain of 3 or 4 notes and then he'll just embellish, and he builds layers and layers upon it till finally he has something really marvelous. We can take a little line and just put a squiggle on a piece of paper and just look at it for a bit, and then imagine what you can turn that little line into. So this is G.H. Glade for Coaching ADD. And I want you to stay tuned for the third part, where I'm going to give you specific exercises on how to increase that creativity. If you've liked this video, then thump that like button. And most of all, share it with other people. The purpose of this video is to spread the word that there are other ways of approaching ADD aside from taking meds. And this comes from someone who prescribes medications. Until next week, take care. Thanks for spending this time with me.